You do not need more time, and you don't need another certification, and you definitely don't need to wait until you feel ready. The high performers that I work with figured out a long time ago. The conditions are never going to be perfect. Let me repeat that. Conditions are never perfect. The calendar is never going to magically clear, and that version of yourself who finally feels ready, she's not coming to save you. What is available for you right now today is the decision. And that decision changes everything. Today, we're going to be talking about why you can start today, what actually is keeping you stuck, and the three shifts that will move you from someday to right now. Hey, welcome back to Be in Demand, where we talk all about how to use speaking to get seen as the expert, grow your personal brand, and be the one for that next big opportunity. I'm your host, Laurie-Ann, and if this is your first time here, welcome. I have over 25 years of speaking experience, and I am a reformed, painfully shy girl who now helps people just like you leverage speaking opportunities to get seen, heard, and remembered. So let's talk about starting. Because if you keep waiting, all you're doing is handing your opportunities to someone else. So let me share this with you. Change does not start with time. It doesn't start with resources, and it doesn't even start with confidence. Every single change starts with a decision, not a feeling, a decision. We are wired to wait until we feel motivated, until we feel ready, until we feel like doing the thing. But motivation is not a feeling that arrives before some big action. Motivation is what shows up when you've already made the decision and you are in motion. Think about that for a moment. You have probably never jumped out of bed at 5 a.m. thinking, I cannot wait to do this hard thing today. You get up, you start, and then somewhere in the middle of it, you remember why it mattered. You remember why you wanted to do this. See, that decision came first. Readiness followed. And that's when motivation to keep going kicks in. Shift number one, your excuses are not problems. They're protection patterns. And let me share a couple with you. And I'm saying this in air quotes, what if I fail? That's the fear of judgment, all dressed up as a strategy. I don't know where to start. That's overwhelm, which is just another flavor of fear. And I don't have time. That is procrastination just wearing a really good looking outfit. These aren't problems. These are protection patterns. Your nervous system's way of keeping you exactly where you are right now because where you are feels familiar and familiar feels safe. But safe and stuck are often the same place. So the question isn't, how do I eliminate the fear? The question is, what do I do in spite of it? Because the leaders and entrepreneurs that I work with, the ones who are getting seen, landing opportunities, being asked to speak on stages and in boardrooms, they feel the fear too. They feel the nervousness also. They just stopped waiting for it to go away before they moved, before they took that step, before they raised their hand. Here's shift number two. You have to become the person first. Let me tell you about a race that I ran in the rain. Now, I had trained for this half marathon, months of early morning runs, each week a little bit longer, longer runs, more time on the road, building up my miles. And on race day, they had predicted rain, not drizzling, but pouring rain. I mean, I had to go out and buy a jacket, a waterproof jacket, just for this particular situation. Now, I am by nature a fair weather runner, and I'll be honest about that, okay? And I'm also a fair weather golfer. But I had done the training and I had made the commitment, And this was an out of town race. And I had to ask myself, who do I want to be? Because if I was the kind of person who only showed up when conditions were perfect, that would show up everywhere in my business, in my relationships, in any room and stage that I stepped onto. So I ran in the rain from start to finish. As a matter of fact, my AirPod got so wet that I had to put it in rice to save it. But I did cross the finish line. And here's what I learned. My identity came before my behavior. You don't run the race and then decide that you're a runner. You decide that you're a runner, and then you show up and you run that race. So who do you need to become? Not who do you need to feel like? Who do you need to decide to be? Because when you shift your identity, when you say, I am someone who speaks up at meetings, I am someone who goes after that opportunity, I am the person they call on, your behavior has to follow. Identity is always leading the way. Hey, I just want to pause here for a moment because what I just described, that gap between who you know you are and how you actually are showing up in the room, that is exactly what I help my clients close. We close that gap. If you have ever left a meeting thinking, I should have said something. If you have ever held back when you had something valuable to contribute, if you know that you are more capable than how you are currently being perceived, that's not a skill problem. That is a confidence and presence problem. And that is what I help my clients fix. I work with corporate leaders and entrepreneurs who are done being overlooked and ready to be that obvious choice in the boardroom, on the stage, and in every conversation that matters. If that's you, I would like to invite you to book a speaker success call. The link is in the show notes, and let's get you seen, heard, and remembered. Now let's get back to the episode. Shift number 3. Someday is not a date. Someday is never on the calendar. And I hear so many people say, someday I'll do this. You cannot schedule someday. You cannot build momentum towards someday. Someday is where dreams go to die quietly. Today is a day. Today is a date. Today is actionable. And today is where everything actually begins. And here's something that I find so fascinating. And if you've ever dismissed journaling as too soft or too woo-woo, research has shown that when you write about your future in the present tense, for as little as 20 minutes, you begin to rewire your nervous system. You start shifting the identity at a neurological level. Can you imagine just journaling for 20 minutes about something in your future that you want? You write about it like it's already happened. And in 20 minutes, you actually can start rewiring your brain. Wow. So instead of writing, someday I want to run a half marathon. Someday I want to write a book. Someday I want to get that promotion. Someday I want to get on that stage. What if you wrote, I just crossed the finish line? I am a runner. What if you wrote, I just became an Amazon best-selling author? Because I am an author. I just got that big promotion. I just spent my first week or my first month in the new position. Wow. Imagine what that would do. Instead of, I hope to speak on bigger stages someday, you just wrote, I just walked off stage and I got a standing ovation. You're not lying to yourself. You are training yourself, training your nervous system. You are becoming that person. And by the way, I am doing this myself right now. I have been telling people that I am running a half marathon again this fall. It has been years since I've actually run a half marathon. now that I'm thinking about it. And I know that the very next step is to sign up for this half marathon that's this fall, to make the hotel reservation. These are steps of the identity of a person who is running this particular half marathon. I am stepping into it. Does it feel a little uncomfortable to say it out loud and to mention my commitment to all of you? Yes, it does, but it's going to hold me to my decision. And this is a little bit of self-integrity, and it holds me to the identity that I want for myself. So whatever it is for you, say it out loud. Write about it. Tell someone, lock it in. That's the big thing that I want you to do. Lock it in. So here's what's next. Not after the quarter wraps up, but today, make the decision. Name what you want. Say it out loud. Go and write it down. This is what I'm going for. Tell people. People love to go along with others as they are moving towards a bigger goal. Then just do one thing, just one. Book the appointment, send the email, sign up for the race, write the first page, reach out to a mentor, sign up for the thing, put it on your calendar, make the ask. One action. One action that says, I am the kind of person who does this. Because that one action is not just a task that you're going, check. It's a confirmation of who you are becoming. It's a confirmation of your new identity. It's evidence that you are becoming who you decided to be. So every person who walks in and commands the room, who leads with authority, who is being seen as the expert, they all had the moment where they decided. Not when things calmed down, not when they had more experience, not when the fear went away. They decided right here, right now. So this is your moment. And if starting today means finally closing the gap between how capable you are and how you're being seen, if that means showing up as the expert that you already are in every room that you walk into, in every conversation that you have, in every opportunity that matters, then your first step is booking a speaker success call. That link is down below in the show notes. Do it now, not someday, but today. And until next week, I want you to be in demand.